Hi, I'm Stephanie Zito. I'm an intuitive soul purpose coach, and this is the Soul Source TV show where I'm going to do a Q&A right now to answer a question that I get frequently from sort of new entrepreneurs. And this is the question that it comes up. I'm running currently a vision casting portal. It's a program for entrepreneurs just ready to kind of really launch into their big vision. And the question that comes up is around really feeling sort of secure in the direction that they're taking, feeling like this is the right path. So for instance, it might be in creating a new app, like a new online product, going in the right direction, whether it being an app or a website, kind of directionally with the tech that they're using. It might be with the actual content of what they are doing. So for instance, is someone looking to be in sort of the energy field, looking to be a sound healer, or are they more apt to put their energy towards becoming some other type of energy healer, going into Reiki or becoming a coach where they're using their voice in a different way? It might be just related to what's the best method? Are they going to be online? Are they going to be in person? Like, how are they going to do this? So I had the best advice from my first coach I ever had when I started coaching. And his advice was to date your niche, your niche, your niche, whatever you want to call it, to date it. So when you have these kind of concerns come up, the first thing that comes to mind is experience. When we gain experience in a certain area, that informs us. We have informed information to make a decision. So if I'm just thinking about this, if I'm just kind of thinking about, well, I'm not sure, I'm kind of interested in this, I'm playing around with it, but I'm just not sure, I actually need to gain experience to understand if that is the direction I really need to be in. What happens, I think, is then we need to ask a couple other questions. The first question is like, well, why am I having this fear? What am I actually afraid of? Let's say that I want to be, I'm thinking of being a sound healer. I've been given this download to be a sound healer, but I'm questioning it. The first question is like, well, do I have experience in it? Have I really tried it? Have I dated it? Have I given it a chance? Have I dated it for like a month? Have I gotten to know it? If you were dating someone, you'd really want to get to know them, right? So I might really want to get to know this as a modality for myself. I might want to, actually go out there and do sound healings. I can get my friends to participate for free in a sound healing session. To kind of start out, it's kind of nice to get that. And then you can also get feedback. If you are doing that, I definitely recommend having a feedback form where you can get some reviews too. So now, boom, you've got not only experience, but you also have reviews. You could also immerse yourself, right? Like, just say you wanted to move, you had this idea, this romantic idea of moving to Australia, if you're not already Australian and already living there, and you're like, oh, it'd be amazing to live in Australia. Well, instead of packing your bags and selling your home and moving there, maybe date it, maybe go and check it out. Like, get all the books, it used to be the Lonely Planet guide. I'm not sure if we still do that or not, but that when I was traveling, when I was younger, it was always a Lonely Planet guide. Immerse yourself in it. Eat the food, listen to the music, go to the things, check it out, right? Check out the art, like just check out as much as you can to immerse yourself in it in some way. Same with the niche you're looking at, for instance, like immerse yourself in it, practice it, be in it. Find out where the fear points come up. Do they come up when you think of actually trying it? Sometimes we have different fears like imposter syndrome. Well, I don't know enough. Well, if you're just practicing it, it's okay. You're in the practice stage. Everyone understands that going into it. So it's not like you're looking to be this amazing expert, which you probably are more than you even realize. But in the event that's coming up, you can kind of take the pressure off a little bit. Is the fear that you are going to be wasting your time? Well, if I go down this path for 4 months, 6 months, maybe I'm wasting my time. I really like to look at it more as like a trajectory. So I'm getting information, and this information is going to be valuable no matter what, because one, I will have my question answered. I will have my yes or my no. I will know, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? I'll know because I'll have the experience, I'll have the data, because I'll get to go deeper. What does the data tell me? I'm such an intuitive person, but I'm getting into like the other side of the brain here a little bit. Does the data tell me like I actually really don't love um, being in front of people in that way? I don't like being in big groups. I like being one-on-one. Is it not that I don't love sound healing, but I like doing it in one-on-one settings, not in group settings? Do I like this aspect of sound healing, but not this other aspect? We get to know more. Do I just want to axe the whole thing? Do I love it? Do I absolutely just want to bathe myself in it? Is this leading me? Am I doing this because I am going to meet something or someone or some experience that is going to then lead me towards that next step? It's sort of like the breadcrumbs, so to speak, right? That are going to show me the way for that next step, for what is even more centered, even more aligned with who I be. So, for instance, when I first started coaching, I had all the tools, right? But I just didn't know what to call myself. And in fact, I was afraid of what I would call myself because I was kind of afraid of like how people would take me. Would they understand what I do? That was like my question. My fear was they won't get me. I also want to note, whatever that fear is, it's probably not just about that niche you're looking at. When you're really looking to hone in on your soul's calling, on that real aligned space, it can start to bring up some real vulnerabilities. So being an entrepreneur is your soul's work. Being a soul-based entrepreneur is your soul's work. So what can come up are those sort of shadow things, those deeper rooted fears that don't just have to do with that modality. They have to do with how you see yourself. They have to do with perhaps like fears that have just been kind of nestled in there safely because you have been perhaps leading a safer life, and it feels more exposed to be in this entrepreneurial realm, to really expose yourself like with your truth, with what you love, like with your putting yourself out there. For me, it was always easier when I was working with a safer skincare company to sell that versus selling me. When I had to go out there and put myself out there, it felt a lot more vulnerable. So in my experience, that was like my fear. So it wasn't about the coaching. It wasn't that I didn't want to coach. My fear was just about being seen in that way. So kind of look at that fear. Do you fear that you're wasting your time? And then look at, what does that mean about you? So let's say that you try this modality out, sound healing out, you try it out and you don't love it. If you don't love it, what does that mean about you? What does that mean, quote unquote, mean about you? I don't mean like literally mean, but I feel like emotionally or energetically, what message, what meaning do you put on that? What voice do you hear? Do you hear the voice of your father saying, well, you didn't try hard enough? Or do you hear the voice of your friend or your aunt who says, well, I told you so. I told you that was a bad idea. Like, do you feel like you're letting someone down if you don't love it? Do you feel like you're letting yourself down? Like, what does it mean, right? If you look at entrepreneurs, if you look at inventors, you look at visionaries, like they can try out a lot of different things to get the thing. I know for me, what's so interesting is when I started out as a coach, I started out as a speaker's coach because it was very tangible. People could understand it. I could really wrap my head around it. Versus all the woo-woo stuff that I bring into the coaching I actually do. But what's fascinating is even those who hired me as a speaker's coach, we actually never got to the speaking. We always got to the inner work. We always got to those shifts and changes that they were really looking to make in their life, like leave a job or shift in a relationship or whatever it was that was meant for them, overcome a fear. That's what we actually did. So that pattern in the doing showed me my truth. It showed me who I truly be. This was like the most beautiful part of the experience was like the action showed me where I was really meant to be. So I just wanted to kind of share that. The last thing I want to kind of say is that if we're worried about what other people will think, whether you stick with something or you shift gears or you love it or you hate it or you're great at it or you're horrible at it or whatever it is, people are going to form their opinions. Some people are not, it's not even going to be on their radar. We're kind of overthinking sometimes how other people perceive us, right? There's a lot, I think, just socially around shame. Like if I fail, if I give up, if I start this and then I stop, if I invest money and then it's a no-go, right? It's like this fear of how we are perceived. It's very natural, very normal. I can go into the back history about why, but just acknowledge that it's really normal for us. So the thing is that like some people are already judging you. They're already forming their opinions about you. Why? Because it's what people do. It's like we do it too. And the beauty is that we can free ourselves of that. We can allow them to form their opinions and we can choose to not really care, not let it affect us, not let it be part of our story. Just because they have that opinion doesn't mean that it has to be part of our story, right? It doesn't have to have anything to do with our story. It's literally a reflection back to them about their belief systems. We are just being that reflection back to them to help them understand what is their truth, which has nothing to do with our truth. It doesn't have to. We don't have to attach that, right? Make sense? Okay, so those are my quick tips for that question around if you're having trouble niching, or you don't even have to niche or niche. You don't even have to do it. But if you're kind of in the exploratory phase and dipping your toe in, the last thing I'm going to talk about is human design. And if you don't know about human design, I'm going to post a link in the comments here so you can go and explore it. I would love to know what your design is, because our human design can help us understand how we best make decisions. So for me, I'm a manifesting generator, and I best make decisions when I dip my toe in something. So I may have an idea about something, but to really know if it's for me, I need to dip my toe in. I need to experience it. So if you might be like that too, you might have a different kind of design, and so you're going to operate a little bit differently. But I know for me, it's like get the spark, take a minute with it, and then go for it. Get some experience with it, and then give it like a hell yes. All right, so those are my tips for today. I hope you enjoy them. I'd love to see your comments and any further questions that I can answer on these Q&As for soul-based entrepreneurs. Bye-bye.